So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go Chinese on the rank ladder. This is a viewer suggestion, and we're gonna play what I consider to be the meta right now, like what the best strategy is. So it doesn't have to be Chinese, but Chinese is the best civ. So I'm basically just gonna show you what the best civ is for this kind of style. But essentially what it is just gonna be archer opening full walls if possible, or you can even open some scouts or something. You can even open a couple militia, whatever it takes to like get past the early game. And then where the meta part kicks in is just being fully walled, and then going ballistics with forward siege workshop with the crossbow timing. I consider that to be the best strategy in the game, and the reason for it is that it's always been a strong strategy. But recently the Arabia generations we've been getting have been very like easy to wall. Like in the past, you get like Arabia gens that there's no way you can wall, so it ends up being like a lot of skirms fighting, maybe a lot of men at arms going at it, a lot of scouts, etc. But if the map's easy to wall, you can get away with just doing like the archer play and just getting up to castle age and going crazy. And also, the reason why it's so good to go for siege workshop and fast ballistics is that you basically counter everything your opponent can go for early. Crossbow with ballistics beats any kind of cavalry units because you're upping to castle age so fast. Your opponent does not have time to mass enough knights to clear you up, so you just beat him with the expo. And then your siege workshop beats skirmishers, and it also beats him just being fully walled. So yeah, if you just get crossbows, ballistics, and siege, and then you have a good economy behind it, I consider that to be the meta. So, which is basically the most effective strategy available. So with all that said, let's go ahead and see if we can manage that today. Got some deer in the corner that I could use. I wouldn't mind. I need a third on wood actually with Chinese. There we go. Get this guy in. I don't know. I could make my way there with my scout, but I think it's probably not worth. Even though the deer is really nice. Alright, our first house has to be as part of a wall, so just do it right here on the front. In fact, I'll wall this whole thing up. Why not? Go for my second boar. Pretty good. I have some chickens here, but I think I'm gonna ignore them for the time being. I really hope I find another neutral deer patch, though. Quite important with the Chinese, actually.
Look at my goat cooking.
Hey, what's up, Hot Jelly Man? Thanks for the prime. Welcome back. Second boar in. Cool, very cool. Go mill. With other civs, maybe you can afford just going for mining camp right away, but because I'm playing no deer Chinese, I think it could be too risky to go mining camp. I might not get enough food. So we go mill here. That's completely fine. It doesn't necessarily matter how fast you click up to feudal age, but the faster the better, generally speaking, just so you don't take any damage. The idea is you just don't take any damage early on, and then yeah, you just kind of dominate once you get the castle age, which is like the main timing attack. This is essentially like Leary's favorite strategy. This is what I would consider most 2600 players are doing on Arabia at the moment. And just most players in general are just doing this. This is what a lot of people try to climb with as well, from like 1400 to 2k. Very popular strategy. So it's kind of just infested our game at the moment, and it doesn't really have a good counter, which is why it's so popular. The only way you can counter the strategy is by playing better than the opponents, or hoping he doesn't get a good map to be able to execute it. In my opinion, the way to get this strategy to not be meta is to make the maps more open, or at least make it like maybe another nerf on walls, something to just make early game aggression more viable. But if we don't see that, which I doubt we'll see, then I think the strategy will continue to be very strong. So let me go ahead and show you guys what it looks like, and then we'll talk about some potential counters at the end of it. Because even though it doesn't have any counters, I think you can still do like a few things that you can, you know, have in your arsenal to at least match it if you don't have like an archer civ and can't do the same. Let me go ahead and finish up the wall here. How do I do this wall? I can do it like this down here, but actually no, let me wall down here. A bit safer to do it like that. We'll go for one more deer. And the extra dealers just helps you get a faster castle time, which is nice. All right, we want to do a specifically tight base. There we go. All right, there we go. So as you can see, I'm very late to gold, but this is also by design. In my opinion, you don't want to rush going to gold with the strat because you want to keep it as flexible as possible. But once you know, like, okay, guaranteed I'm going to go for range, it's all set, then you can just go to gold. And you're not really going to be late on the gold either. It's going to come in pretty good timing. All right. Now we just wall up. Now I do want to scout my opponent. We'll get one spearman at home just in case. My opponent's playing as a Catan, so we skip horse collar because we're just trying to get up the castle as fast as possible. Kind of go for a bit of a timing attack, of course. And we're putting all of our eggs into that basket. Main reason why we see like everything go down in Castle Age is mostly because it's way easier to actually do damage in Castle compared to Feudal Age. Like in Feudal Age, if the guy fully walls, you can't do damage. Point blank, period. You know what I mean? That's it. It's done so. But in Castle Age, even if the guy's walled, you can still break in pretty easily. Your opponent cannot wall behind effectively. And then you're just good to, yeah, you're good to actually get some value in. My opponent's just going stable and luring a deer in Feudal Age. Interesting. He's also just walling up. Alright, perfect. So we're both playing in a very similar way. My opponent's a 2100 ELO player, by the way, roughly. So pretty good, like, guinea pig or opponent for this kind of strategy. Oh, I messed up there. Ooh, got punished. Lost my scout, but scout's really not that important. You can just wall down here. There we go. Take a bit of chickens. Now, I could decide to put some pressure with my archers early game. But moving out, I consider to be a bit of a pretty big risk. So I'd rather just not move out and just sit nice and tight at home. I think this is a bit of a boring way to play, my opinion. So I'm like not really happy when this kind of stuff is the meta. I prefer a lot more like engaging Feudal Ages. So like my main opinion about this kind of stuff is I'd want to see very diverse Arabia gens. So like sometimes it's very open, sometimes it's pretty closed, sometimes it's like very little wood lines, sometimes your golds are far. Like I want to see like different gens for Arabia, and especially with KOTD coming up, King of the Desert 6, it's a really good opportunity to mess around with some like actual variation in Arabia so it doesn't get stale and doesn't get repetitive. Losing this vill is very bad for me, by the way. Yeah, that's a good punish because that vill had 35 food. So that's not good. And we'll just wall this up. That's why you have to wall. Step 1 failed. Go. It's okay, we're still gonna go for it, obviously. The plan stays the same. Okay, now he doesn't have the scouts to defend me, so I can move out. So that's my kind of like compensation for the vill kill. So not horrible. Can make this work. All right, perfect. Now we can move out and look to pressure our opponents. All right, and then these guys, when they finish the berries, they're going to make a lumber camp with them, which is absolutely perfect. This is something I talk a lot about on Patreon. A lot of people don't realize this, but the berries will run out as soon as I click Castle Age, and this is very important. I call this the berry timing, for lack of a better word. But essentially, if I don't click Castle Age when the berries run out, then I'm screwed because I have very little farms. So it's actually very crucial that the berries run out when I'm able to click Castle, which is right now. So hopefully I'm able to click up. If not, we'll just wait. Yeah, with 10 food off, but it's pretty chill. That's because I lost the vill, actually. That's the 10 food off. Oh, and I'm off the blacksmith. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, that's really bad. Forgot the blacksmith. My goodness. This is like worst case scenario here. Alright, let's get the blacksmith, and then no more mistakes, hopefully. Alright, my opponent's going for a range as well, which is like... Okay, we'll make one more bill. So we're gonna be like 50 seconds late to this. Hopefully it's still good. Okay, actually we're fine. We're gonna cancel this. We're only like 20 seconds later, 30 seconds late. Cool. I don't really need more vills. I need to just get up there, and the timing attack is very crucial. So we need just enough food basically to get crossbow botkin. We don't need any more food. And then we need a vill forward to go ahead and make a siege workshop. So the pressure I'm putting right now is fake. I'm just like poking around. But really the fireworks start in Castle Age, where we go fast ballistics and we really push. I think we can go for the second range as well. I think that's really nice to do. You don't have to though. It's kind of up to you. But I think it's nice. If you can afford it. But honestly, the strategy is pretty forgiving. So even though I've made a few mistakes so far, it's not the end of the world. It's a very forgiving strategy. The only weakness to the strategy is if you're not able to full wall and you get like just kind of destroyed in feudal age. But if that doesn't happen, you're more or less fine. All right, now I'm gonna send the vill forward. And as you can see, my castle time's pretty fast. Like despite being delayed by like 30 to 40 seconds, we're still gonna get a pretty fast castle time. Still no horse collar. Now my opponent's also playing like a meta strat, like Catan, Scout into Skirm. Like it's looking good, but like in my opinion, you're gonna see right now why what he's doing is just not gonna be effective. Because I'm gonna get the siege workshop. I'm gonna have the crossbow timing, and I'm gonna have the middle hill. And it's impossible not to have the middle hill here unless he's like really massing skirms. Because if he mass skirms early on, trying to prevent me from doing this, he won't have a fast castle time. So I almost always get the middle hill with crossbows. They're just very effective at doing that. Now from this position, I'm gonna do fast ballistics and also siege workshop for mangonels. So no matter what he does, he's always going to be at a disadvantage. He goes for the tower here. It's a pretty good, option. Not in time. We're going to punish that. So now I'm thinking he might be doing Step Lancers. We're going to go rocket carts here. Same thing if you have a mangonel sieve. It's essentially the same thing. Doesn't matter. You just need the equivalent, basically. Going to go for another tower here. That's a better one. That one's harder to take out. I'm gonna go ballistics. There we go. And I'm not worried about losing like some economy or like about not adding in town centers. And the reason is if he adds in town centers, he will die. Like immediately. Because the strategy is just so strong. Like there's hills everywhere. And that's another aspect actually that I didn't mention earlier. But like this Arabia having hills everywhere makes it so I will almost always do damage with my rush. That's another important factor. So even though I'm not adding TCs, you might think, oh, I'm falling behind. It's not really real. He will take so much damage. So if he's trying to go TCs here, it's not going to work out too well. Maybe we'll just dive in. We have ballistics, so we're just getting a free value. Absolutely disgusting. There we go. I'm just kind of defending with the other crossbows at home because I'm not sure what he's going with. There we go. Forward Vill also just repairing the siege is nasty. Vills can't run because I've got like the crossbows. You can just see it's such a perfect combo. Oh, he's gonna go CA. Interesting. It's not gonna help, unfortunately for him. Vills will come out, and yeah, he would just take so much damage. So it's just a perfect combo. Like it's the units are working so well together. There's nothing that he can do that's as effective as that I'm doing. He has ballistics with CA though, so he's trying something. Let's move out here. Try to defend this. I've lost quite a few builds to this though, actually. Okay, we have to defend a little bit against some of his mobility. And now we get into a Mangonel War. This I'm not very good at, to be honest with you, but essentially Essentially, it comes down to micro. Trying to raid me a little bit. I'm gonna delete that house just to get a little bit better spread. Outposts are really good. Also very big part of the strategy. Helps you win the Mangonel Wars a lot. And so here's the thing, like if he added a TC right now, he's not gonna be able to afford like anything basically. So I suspect he might have not even added a TC. See, he was able to afford quite a bit of military. Oh, but okay, he did add one. Never mind. That's gonna come at a cost. It's gonna be very hard for him to afford other stuff. Let's just repair. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself, of course. And I wish he tried skirms just to show you how badly skirms would die to this. Just to show you that it's not really an option either, because the Mangonels are really effective with skirms. Another factor is also the pathing right now is really bad on skirms and archers alike. So being on defense versus Mangonels, impossible. Impossible or almost impossible. Alright, keep massing, keep massing. And yeah, your opponent is just... What can he do against this? He has to outplay me like crazy, basically. Gonna make another siege workshop. So he's leaking another 200 res because he added a TC. I'm sneaking in here with the crossbows. I got ballistics, so his vills can't even run away from it. And yeah, I mean... yeah. If you're wondering why I'm like talking so matter of fact, it's because I've played against this and with this hundreds of times at this point. So like, this is not surprising at all. This is the most standard game you can ever get. And if your opponent is not well prepared for it, he will die to it almost every single time. Now we can either get Thumb Ring to continue pushing, or we can add TCs. I'm going to add TC because that's the more quote-unquote meta way to play. So it's like the best way to play. So now you can just do so much damage to him, force all this garbage, and then you just boom, you know, clean behind it. He lost all of his farms, so all that, like that's 200 wood down the drain. Look at that, say bye. Basically spent it on hookers and cocaine. Doesn't help him in life. And that's it. Like, what more can I say about this? What more can I say? Oh, hold on. That's actually really good from him. This is his only chance to win is outplay me on the rocket cart micro. It's the only chance. Like, he did really well, but unfortunately it's not enough. And I should be like doing better because I've got a lot more of them. More to lose though, it seems. Now we just block him from running away. And yeah, GG's called. I mean, he probably can't even afford another rocket cart realistically. And as you can see, he tried to add TCs straight down the center. He loses his entire base, and there's nothing more to be done. Let's get a GG in the chat, guys. I have to say now, this brings me to the second part of the video where we just talk about the meta and how things are right now. I have to say that I find this kind of gameplay pretty boring. I have a few solutions for you guys, but first, before I go through the solutions on how to take the strategy kind of out of the meta or allow other strategies to compete, I first want to talk about what you can do against this currently. So the biggest problems is like how easy it is to wall. Skirm pathing being horrible, so you cannot defend with skirms. You just eat all the Mangonel shots essentially. And then the third factor was, oh yeah, feudal age is skipped basically. It's so small, it's so short, so you don't have time to get knights out. So you can't go knights, you don't have time. You can't go skirms. So what can you do? CA, you start massing them in castle, it's a bit slow. You know, crossbows, then you're just mirror matching. Scouts into skirms. I mean, again, not bad, but you end up on skirms, which is bad. The light cav, the ballistics deals very well with light cav, so nothing actually works. So what can you do? In my opinion, you can try to either match, which is an option, or you can try to play with something different that is very well prepared into this. Like, for example, you open scouts, and then instead of switching into skirms, or you can switch into skirms, but instead of playing elite skirm Mangonel defense, which is like normal, you can instead switch into something like +2 armor on skirms to counterattack, and then you do guard tower defense or only mangonel defense. So you get your skirms to counterattack and to put some pressure elsewhere. So you can play with certain counter options, but you're ready to like deal with what he's sending your way. In my opinion, the worst thing that can happen to you is that you're just sitting in your base defending with skirms, because then you're just going to lose all your buildings on the front and your opponent gets a free game. Another option is you can just go like scouts into like wall up, go up, and go light cav, but instead of fighting the army with light cav, you raid with the light cav if you can, and you just defend with mangonels, or you can defend with guard towers or redemption monks, something like that. Something strategic. You want to defend with like half your army instead of like all your army, and that's the main idea. Skirms on defense doesn't help you, so you might as well counterattack. That's basically all you can do against it, though. There's not really much else you can try. You can try castle dropping as well, that could protect you, but then again, you can just move. And unique units don't really do well against crossbow ballistics, so the options are limited. But I think, you know, counterattacking with half your army and then defending with like siege or a guard tower, something specialized, is probably the way to go to deal with this push. Now, how do we push the strategy out of the meta? My opinion is we have to get diverse Arabia generations. Like, we just have to have diverse Arabia generations. Every Arabia cannot look the same, where you have like 3 big woodlands and you can just wall easily. That's probably like number 1 best thing we can do against it. Second best thing we can do is probably just fix the pathing so we can actually have skirms like be viable. And then the third thing, without like nerfing anything, I would say probably something like allow more action in feudal age. I don't know how you can do that, but I think, you know, the Arabian map generations could fix that, but somehow, some way, allowing more action in feudal age would really nerf the strategy, because it makes it so, you know, you can't just skip feudal age and go straight to castle. And also, another reason why this strategy is coming up right now is that last patch or a couple patches ago, skirms were nerfed. Like, they now produce slower. So the meta went from like skirms being really strong to now this being really strong. And yeah, we're kind of just never seeing a lot of diversity. But anyway, King of the Desert's coming up, so I thought this could be a good video on showcasing what the meta is right now. Most of the ladder is this. I'm playing viewer strats and fun strats right now, so I'm kind of dodging this, but I play against it a lot. And so I think it could be a good video to kind of showcase where we're at right now. And hopefully, like, I find this pretty boring, so hopefully we can get a bit more variety into the game. I don't want to just be doing, you know, Expo and Magano Micro all day long. I think there's a lot more to our game than that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Obviously, like, half gameplay, half discussion video on this one. And yeah, we'll see what's done with KOTD. Maybe they find some solutions, or maybe we just do this every game and whoever's the best at this wins the tournament. Who knows? Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.